Hi, good afternoon, fourth grade. As you can see, we have our floor, ceiling, and 3 walls created, and I have my 3 canvases. Now it is time to create the tile on our floor and the tile on the ceiling. After that, we will do a sculpture on the floor. So make sure that you draw lightly. That is always a good thing to remember with perspective, is to draw lightly no matter what. Now, first thing we're going to do is the floor. And when you make the floor, we're going to switch to inches. So I had it on centimeters. And I want you to measure so that the 0 starts in the corner or the edge of the ruler. Some rulers start with 0 at the edge of that ruler. Some rulers start with 0 in towards the center a little bit. Now, after you have your ruler starting at the corner, I want you to measure every ½ inch. And I want you to make just a little mark, just a mark that's bright enough or dark enough for you to see it. You don't need anybody else to see it, so don't make them really big or super dark. They're just a little mark so that you can see your different measurements, okay? And once you get that done, you're going to line up every single one of those dots with your vanishing point. So see how my ruler's lined up at the vanishing point and that dot. And I'm going to draw a line that goes all the way off the bottom of my paper. Same thing with the next one. Keep the ruler on your vanishing point and just kind of make your ruler move to the next spot and draw another line that goes out. Keep your ruler on that vanishing point and move to the next dot and make another line. Keep going. Eventually, your ruler is going to be going straight up and down, but every time you move to the next dot, make sure that your ruler is on that vanishing point. Because see, every time I move it, it moves away from that vanishing point. So I got to keep adjusting it so that it's still on that vanishing point, and then I draw that line. I'm going to go to the next one and draw another line. I guess I should have mentioned this before I started the video, but if you're not satisfied with your drawing, right now is the last day for you to restart your drawing, because once we get farther in this lesson, it's going to be harder for you to catch up. Now see how my lines started going that way, then they started going straight down as the lines got right underneath my vanishing point. Now they're starting to go the other direction, kind of like the rays of a sun. The lines of the tile are radiating away from your vanishing point. So I'm going to now go back to this one. Make sure it's touching my vanishing point. Make sure I touch that next dot. And I'm going to keep on going until I get all the way to my last mark. When I get to that last mark, I make my last row of tile, and it really starts to look like your room is going away from you, especially with these tiles. It really is starting to look cool. But right now, it looks like a bunch of planks. What we need to do is actually make it look like tile instead of just planks. So we need to make squares for our tiles. So this doesn't require any precise measurement, so you don't have to go like every ½ inch, but you do have to figure out how big your tile are going to be. So I'm going to start off with a small tile in the back, and I'm going to draw a line on every other plank of tile. See how I did every other one? Now I'm going to do the tile that I didn't do the first row. So I'm going to go and do this one, because that one doesn't have a row yet. Neither does that one, or this one, or this one. And I'm going to fill in all of those. And when I move my ruler down, I'm going to move it a little bit farther, because I want the tile in the back to be small and the tile in the front to be bigger. So I'm going to make my tile get a little bit longer as I get closer to the front of my picture. And again, I'm going to do the tile in this row that I did on the first row. Now again, I'm going to move it a little bit farther back again, And I'm going to do the tile that I didn't do the last time. So I'm alternating every other row with a different tile. My ruler's getting too small, so I have to move it down to do these last couple over here. But do you see how they're getting smaller, then they're medium size, and then they're long? Now, this doesn't really look like regular square tile. This is going to be more like rectangular tile, or it could look like hardwood. Depending on how you color it, it could look either way. But that's how you do the tile floor. For the ceiling, I'm going to create another video for the ceiling because this one's getting kind of long. So I'm going to stop here and you'll have to use another QR code for the ceiling. But the ceiling is done very similar to the floor. We're just going to do inches instead of half inches like we did down here.